Hey everybody, I'm super excited to announce the start of our new project. Our shop Tesla is doing a color conversion to the purple I showed you earlier. A maranthine, and it's like a deep purple. So one of the things I want to point out is on Teslas, number one, hats off to Elon Musk. You're an absolute genius with the way you build these cars. These things are so simple. Obviously, Elon has done a good job manufacturing these vehicles, getting them down to their simplest form so they are easier and faster to manufacture at a lower cost. They're also super easy to service. So with these, we were able to take quite a few components off the cars with just a few bolts, very few wires. So the reason that we take this bumper off of this vehicle and remove these headlights is so that we can get a good wrap on these color change conversions. So we'll wrap the color right inside this headlight bucket here. Typically the headlight's so pushed up against here you can't really get a good wrap. So again, this bumper comes off with, I think it's 6 bolts. There's some up here at the top and there's a couple on the inside of the fender and everything just pops out. So we take these off when we're doing our color conversion so that we can make this look as close to paint as we possibly can. The rest of the car is pretty easy. There's a lot of easy trim panels to remove. But the bumper will only drop on the color change conversions that we're doing on these Teslas. So we're really excited to get started on this thing. Just wanted to show you some really cool details in the ways that we're going to tackle this car so you can see how we handle these color conversions, and cannot wait for you to see it when it's done.
I'm a whirling dervish, I always twirl on purpose. I'm so surface level, don't you look behind the curtains. I'm nervous like I'm Nelly, Kelly's so evil, he's not a person. What would a good one consist of? I'm probably not as perfect, it's probably not in my bloodline. My faith lies as far as my fault is allowed, but truth I control where I land. I choose to be an island, I choose to pick up my plans till they all seem folly. But I guess I change that present to the past tense, like Paps was a bastard, flabbergasted. Pap has a running pattern, polish blotted, nothing matters. Turns out love an ugly dancer, I am part generation violence, part of the nation, not hiding from it all till it all become blinding. Kite fly across the sky till the blue turn violent, mock the passage of the days all ever I'm in. Don't feel free to chime in, rather keep you tuned out. Stick with flat drink sip instead of fizzled out routes. I don't need to go your way.
We're about to tackle one of the more difficult parts of the Teslas, especially when you're doing color change PPF. It's really important that you get full coverage. And if you look at the shape of this hatch, it's a pretty big piece. It goes all the way up to the top here and comes down. And then we've got this really big ridge right here that pokes out. So we've got to get the film to lay all the way across this line and suck in here and still be really tight across this ridge so that we can get all of this in one piece. We don't want to have any exposed paint or color to come through any seams or edges like a lot of other shops are doing for their installs. We happen to have another Tesla behind me that had another shop install stealth paint protection film on the gloss. And let me show you what that looks like and the reason you would want us to do all of the disassembly and the type of install that we're doing on this. So if you don't remove these pieces and take these taillights out and do this in one piece, you end up with a seam here. This one has a spoiler, for example. So we've got, gloss showing here. In this instance, the color behind the color changing PPF would actually show up in this seam. So we've got not even removing the badges on this one, same deal. You've just got so much stuff showing there from a gloss perspective, which is just going to emulate what you would see on the color that's behind the film in this scenario. So it's really important to us that we, one, take these taillights out. This helps us get the wrap, around the edge here. So when we put the taillights back in, this thing's gonna look just like it came painted like this from Tesla. Okay, so one of the things that I wanna point out whenever we do an install like this with this color change film, we usually do these hatches with multiple people, sometimes up to a 3-man team, just so we can get the stretch even is the most important thing. We don't want to have more stretch one way on one side of the film or the hatch versus the other. So what we try to do is we get to try to get multiple people do an even stretch across the hatch so that we can lay it down. The reason that we do that is because we don't want to create an extended amount of stretch in one area, which could, in some cases, create a shift in the color of the film or a lightening of the color or a shift in the metallics even in the film. One of the beautiful things we love about the Nanolink product is that the way that the film is made, it actually has a little bit more elasticity in the color of the PPF, so it does stay more consistent with the stretch, but it's still really important to make sure that you get that consistent stretch across the entire length of the hatch before you start to lay this thing down. So you'll see us whenever we're installing this that we've got multiple people here doing that even stretch across so that we can get that consistent color across the ridge of the hatch here as we're installing.
Where you learn to shut the demons up. Nah, I'm kidding, you ain't no demon, you my homie, but I'm tweaking, bro. When you mix this and think you got business talking about track, shut up, bitch. Sorry, I guess I went too far with that one. Guess it's easy to blame the homie for my shortcomings, should've working for different outcomes. It's all love, but it need to be self-love. Need to do this for me, not for anyone else, but not for your approval or the world's or the rest of, but to feel peace when I walk in the respite. This should be mine. Now I know it's mine alone.
Well, what a result, huh? We finally finished the color change on this Tesla, and it is amazing. So this is a new color that we started playing with, and it is wicked. So I want you to follow me as I walk around this car and you watch the color change from purple to green. And in different light, you'll see black and browns and blues even. So this is a prismatic purple. Really, really cool. Now this is a full color change, so we approach these a little bit differently than we do a typical paint protection film installation and even a stealth conversion, a matte conversion. So I want to show you some of the details and walk you around the car so you can get a better understanding of what a color change PPF install should look like. We've seen a couple out there that just don't meet the standards, so I want to show you how we do it here at Authentic Details so you know what you can expect when you get one of these from us. So let's walk around. So the first thing I want to point out is, as you remember, we took the bumper off of the car for a very specific reason. Number one is we wanted to get this wrap to happen right around the headlight here. That's important because if you don't have that wrap, you're going to see a little bit of the color on a top facing panel of the car. We don't want that to happen. We also can get a wrap underneath the headlight, and that's important because the lens is clear and you can see through the bottom of it. Same thing with the fog lights down here. We're able to get this wrapped way back and under so you can't see any of the original color through the clear lens on the fog lamp here. On these color changes, we do a little bit of a different thing here whenever we have seams. We still like to leave seams on some of these cars because for this car, for example, we see a lot of this get damaged. This piece get damaged quite frequently on these Teslas, so it's just a real easy small piece to replace. But we do an overlap on the seams here, so almost like vinyl. And that's gonna keep us a nice, clean looking install, very well protected edge for where the two pieces meet. Also, you'll notice on all the body lines, on the bumper, the fenders, that we wrap the film over, so this car looks like it was painted this way. As we work our way around, we do remove all the trim, similar to what we do on matte conversion stealth installs. So again, the edges, all the corners are capped on the ends, so they look like, again, it's like painted. We wrap into the door handles, so we can make sure this looks, again, just like it was painted this way. We do the trunk lids in one piece, like always. So you'll see that these corners are capped here as well. We even wrap inside of this piece here, which I'll get to open here in a second and show you. Again, underneath these taillights, same deal, everything is wrapped in. The idea here on these is to make sure that we hide all of the original color. Now, one of the things I had talked about was we have to consult with you on what your car looks like currently. So if you have a white car, silver car, and you want to go to a dark color like this, there are some trade-offs. So there's a couple little tricks we'll have to do in order to try to hide that color in the background. We'll just have to talk to you about what those are, make sure you're okay with them. So if you want to do a color change, I highly recommend you bring us a dark colored car, like a dark gray or a black. Like this vehicle, as you can see, was actually gray originally. So we still have the door jambs that are gray. Now what we've done is we wrap all the way to the rolled edge of the actual metal itself. so we make it look real nice and clean on all these edges. That's kind of our mission, is we want everything to look real clean, very professional on the installation. So you see the same thing on the edge here, real sharp, nice, clean line. And we even got this wrapped in here. So when you open this charger door, you don't have to look at a different color. Again, if we can do it in a way that's gonna hold up from a longevity perspective, and it's gonna look good from an appearance perspective, we're gonna do it. Door jambs, a little bit more difficult to do. We do have some options there we can talk to you about, but they're gonna be usually using vinyl. Sometimes we would recommend maybe doing like a matte black on the inside of the door jambs, just to give it a little bit of a contrast if you don't like the color of the door jambs to the way they are. So anyway, we're very excited at being able to offer this product for you. We have over 30 different colors that we can put on your vehicle. So give us a call if you're interested in doing a color change. We'd love to talk you through the process and talk you through kind of what the options are and bring you in to let you look at all these amazing colors we're offering.
Go your way, you stand and make that face. Life is made of serious words.